What's going on, guys? I am shooting this video super impromptu. I know I look like shit because I feel like shit. um, just another one of the nights when I cannot sleep. It's about 3 in the morning, and it is April 17th, 2018, and this is another one of those videos that I'm probably not going to put out for a long time. Quite literally, I have lost the ability to sleep. Um, you know, the amount of stuff that I've been dealing with health wise over the last few years is just insane, and the amount of symptoms that I've been chasing is insane. I really look like shit. Yes, I do. Mm. I've had probably 5 days of just not sleeping. I don't feel awake. I don't feel alive. I am I am exhausted beyond belief. What is going on at this point is that I cannot breathe. Like, I actually feel like I'm dying. um, I really do. I'm laughing about it almost like when people say LOL when shit isn't funny. I literally feel like my body is shutting down and I'm fucking dying. It's I can't even, so I wake up constantly throughout the night, right? Um, and that's gone on for years and years and years. But it has gotten to the point where I've just deteriorated, especially in nighttime settings, to where I wake up probably every few minutes. Maybe I sleep for 10, 20 minutes at a time, and then I just wake up. And I wake up because I just stop breathing. And it has now bled over into my daily life. Like, I can't breathe during the day. I I'm out of breath constantly. I can't do physical activities. I can't do activities. I have not been able to go to the gym in months. I've lost like all the gains that I worked very hard to get. Again, it's like my health has just been on this downward spiral for so long, and my frustration with it is so bad. Like, I get in these really dark places um of struggles with this. And what is basically going on, that we think now, and by we I mean all of the different doctors and therapists and whoever I've seen over the past, you know, year, um, they've treated me for a whole myriad of symptoms, from, the blood results coming back and the tests showing what has been going on with me internally, and taking supplements and vitamins and being treated, whether with acupuncture or with therapy or, meditation and all this different stuff that's just been like chasing these symptoms. Now, what they think is that all of these symptoms, for the most part, including the anxiety, including like the chronic fatigue, they think that all of it can literally be coming from heavy sleep deprivation. And in terms of the sleep deprivation, they think that I may be dealing with severe sleep apnea. So, if you've been following this channel, being April 17th right now, I have not put up a video in quite a decent period of time. And the reason is that I have quite seriously lost functionality. um, I've like lost functionality. almost hit a car on the highway because I was falling asleep at the wheel. I drove into oncoming traffic. Ah. Yeah, well, that's the truth. Ah, I'm losing it. So, anyways, um, I drove into oncoming traffic last week. Yeah, yeah, last week. I was like, why are all these people going the wrong way? Because I'm so tired during the day. Um, so they're sending me for a sleep test, which probably should have been sent for a long time ago. I just never considered the fact that I may have sleep apnea. So in terms of things now, the doctors who I'm sure have tried very hard to be helpful to this point think that I have sleep apnea, which is basically a obstructive sleep issue where you simply cannot sleep. Like you go to sleep and then you stop breathing, and it can be caused from a number of different reasons, but the whole encompassing symptom is that you just stop breathing. And that is currently what I have going on. I literally just stop breathing over and over and over while I sleep, and it causes it's stopping me in my tracks. And it's like at this point I have pulled out of everything that I've been doing. I stopped with the stock market. I stopped with um, real estate and investing and learning about different things. I stopped pushing myself with work. I stopped going to networking meetings in the morning. I have I have stopped every stressful activity that I can possibly think of to bring my stress level as low as possible. Anything I can possibly think of to get my stress level low. And I will say, on the bright side, I have not needed the Clonopin, I think it's called, that I was prescribed, Clonopin or clonazepam, whatever it is, that I was prescribed for the anxiety attacks. I will say the anxiety attacks have, for the most part, stopped. So that's cool. But the fact that I am still not able to operate at such low stress, like, situations is crazy to me. And it's leading me to believe that they're probably right about this. They're probably right that I do have sleep apnea, and it's interesting because if I look back over my life, I have almost always had a sales job or when I owned my business. I've always done something entrepreneurial or sales. And the thing about sales and being an entrepreneur is that technically you can take a nap at any time, right? What I realized is anytime I tried to work at a 9 to 5 job, if I look back over my history, I was always falling asleep throughout the day, and I would always need a nap, or I would always just be somewhat fatigued or have to take breaks or something along those lines. And I think I gravitated towards sales jobs and towards doing my own thing, on top of the fact that I don't like to listen to anybody. I think I always gravitated towards that because of the fact that I wanted to have the freedom to sleep whenever I wanted because it was necessary. However, throughout the time and throughout my history and all the stuff that went on in my 20s, talking with the therapists and talking to whoever, they basically think that I've had sleep apnea for a very long time. Now, it's possible I don't have sleep apnea. I mean, this is like, I'm at the end of my rope trying to figure out what the fuck has been going on with me for so long, why my health has just been deteriorating to the levels it's at. So I'm really hoping that this is it, because then I can just strap on that CPAP machine and I'm gonna look like a Top Gun fighter pilot going to sleep every night. But they think that I have sleep apnea for probably 15 years, maybe more, who knows, and that it's just the fact that I've gone through severely stressful situations, like, some of the stuff that caused my PTSD in my 20s, and that with the mounting amounts of stress in my life and with the kind of drive that I have, basically having a whatever it fucking takes mentality to try to achieve my goals and what I'm trying to get in life. And if you couple that all together, pushing through sleep deprivation for so long, yeah, that makes sense where the anxiety and panic attacks were coming from, because my fucking body's chemicals are all screwed up from not getting any sleep. And that whole cocktail of bullshit causes like a downhill health spiral. So they think that I've had this for a really long time and that it's just gotten progressively worse over the years, and it is at the point now where it is like, quite honestly, it's probably getting to the point where it's life-threatening. Like, it's so crazy because like it's this has all been going on behind the scenes, and I don't share this kinds of stuff on this channel that much. Maybe I should, because people are really dealing with like severe shit out there, and there's so many people talking about just push, just go for what you want, and I'm all about that life. But, I am learning, along with probably many other people out there, that there's more to it, and you've got to be not only balanced in different areas, but you have to take care of yourself. And for me, pulling out all the stops throughout the last few years of my life to try to get to where I am, and there were certain life and death situations that I had to do that with, but I don't have that right now. Right now I'm technically in a situation where I, if need be, which hopefully it doesn't come to that, if need be, with the moves that I've made financially, and with the fact that I really don't spend any money on myself, I can live for like 2 years without working right now, maybe more. And that's a really good place to be, and it's kind of like, this video is going way longer than I thought it would. Do I necessarily want to take that route and eat up the money that I've saved up? No, of course not. But, the fact of the matter is that I have to figure out what is going on with myself health-wise. And I've been trying to do it while being smart about things and continuing to go for all the goals that I have, but it hasn't been working. And it's like, if the doctors are right and I have this sleep apnea, it makes perfect sense why I'm dealing with all of these physical symptoms. Like, all this stuff that I'm experiencing can literally be boiled down to like severe sleep deprivation. And as I look around and I see so many people always pushing people to try to succeed, and always pushing, I'm learning to have a much more varied outlook on things. And maybe I will put this video up. Maybe I will. I don't know. If you see this video, I put it up. How about that? So, I'm learning that I have to have a much more open mind to different walks of life and where people come from and what people are struggling with. And it's very easy to point the finger and say that these people are lazy or this or that. Dude, like, it would be so easy for me to just have given up so many times along my journey and just taken like the easy way out of not going for what I want and not doing any of that, because of how I felt this entire time. And it's at the point where I am now being forced forced to stop because driving in incoming traffic, I mean, is probably is probably like a warning sign that you should probably reassess some things, you know? So I'm really hoping this is it because I am at the end of my rope. And with the body functions that have just been shutting down, like the fact that I can't even think straight throughout the day, I mean, it is getting to the point where it's life threatening. I can't breathe. Like during the day, I'm short of breath constantly, and you would think it was a panic attack, but I know what a panic attack feels like, and it's not. It's not panic attacks. It has just been brewing in the background for the past couple of months and probably the past few years. But in January, I'm telling you, when I shot that video, when my arm was twitching that night, I'm telling you, I shot that video, and it was like, that was when I was standing on the brink of the cliff, and it was like, all right, well, we're just gonna push them off now. And I have been in this like downward spiral ever since of like struggling to keep my like health right and keep up appearances with things. And it's like, as it stands, like I still put up videos here. I still held my job. I still did some stuff with the studio. We actually have a lot coming out. Like it just hasn't come out because I've been shot this whole time, but there is a lot of stuff that's edited and we're kind of just waiting to put it up. So there's a lot coming from the studio, but this is a hell of a rambling video, huh? My downward spiral rambling video. So, you know, it's like I can't even focus enough to stay on a thought. The point of this video is just, this is what's going on behind the scenes, and like you know, if nothing else, as I overcome this as well, it just adds to the story. You know what I mean? It just adds to the story of my life and like what has been going on, and you know, hopefully it gives others hope, and it lets people know that like everything is not sterling on as it looks on the outside. You know, it never is. I mean, it blow your mind, the people that I know and what they look like to the public. And I know some people who are pretty up there in the public eye, and they are a wreck. They are an absolute fucking wreck of a human being. But God, do they look good on social media. I know this one model in particular, and she's starting to become really well known, and she's getting signed with some pretty well known names, and she is just she is one of the most beautiful train wrecks out there. She's like barely functioning as an individual, but she's pushing herself to be in the public's eye constantly, and it's just destroying her. It really, really is. I think some people are just not made for it, but it's just pushed constantly in your face that you have to be like that. And it's, I don't know, maybe that's part of what I'm dealing with. Who knows? I mean, we live in a very interesting society where it's like we've got the same damn brains and same genetic makeup for the most part that our ancestors had, except we have all this booming technology and all these, you know, new stressors that are constantly keeping us like on edge. We have all these health issues going around, and I mean, what I'm dealing with, could it be hereditary? I don't know, I suppose, but it's like you look at our ancestors and what they had to deal with, and yes, they had stressful situations. Yes, they had all this kinds of stuff, but they didn't have the technology and even electricity to keep the lights on at this moment in time. I mean, we used to sleep with the night and wake up with the morning. I mean, we were on circadian rhythms, and I think we functioned way better as a species. I really do. I mean, all this optimization has brought us to the brink of needing pharmaceuticals and other types of like artificial stimulus just to keep us going. And I think this is the breakdown. I mean, I think the breakdown of society, it starts within all of us. You know, I mean, we've all bought into this image. We've all bought into this marketing and such of what we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to be acting, how we're supposed to be living, what we're supposed to be spending our money on, how we're supposed to think. And the problem is it's not individualized, you know, and it's very cookie cutter, and we all try to fit into this. And I think there's a breakdown that occurs, and maybe, I don't know, maybe this is my breakdown. I don't know. I don't quite know what this is signifying for me, or maybe it is just sleep apnea. But I go for a sleep study tomorrow night. God, this video is all over the place. I go for a sleep study tomorrow night, and I am seriously, seriously hoping that the results are conclusive. Not that I want sleep apnea, but it'd be really nice to have a definitive answer for why the fuck no other treatments are working. No therapy is working, no supplements are working. Melatonin, valerian root, passion flower, Klonopin, meditations, trying to sleep less, trying to sleep more, trying to do all this stuff, cutting stuff out of my life. Like, the only thing I can cut out of my life really at this point is legit my job. Like, there is nothing else that I can cut out of my life at this point that is any stressor. And obviously, the job isn't going anywhere. So, I'm really hoping for a definitive answer to this. And if indeed this is what's been going on with me for the last few years of health struggles, that would be amazing, because then I'm probably a fucking superhuman. Because if I've been able to become, you know, this successful with, or at least if I've been able to do as much as I have been able to do in life, because I'm not successful, all right now, but if I've been able to do as much as I have in life and been dealing with this kind of a health ailment the whole time, that's pretty fucking huge. And my understanding is, if you do have that and then you get on the CPAP machine, which is basically a machine that like forces you to breathe at night. What a thing, huh? I'm human, but I can't breathe. A natural body function is just not working properly. That's cool. That's nice. That makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, you know, fuck breathing. Yeah, it's stupid. So, my understanding is that if I get on this machine, and I sleep with it, and it gives you the restful sleep that, I don't know, most humans are supposed to have. If I've been operating under that ailment and been able to do what I've done, I feel like the sky will be the limit for me after that. And I feel like that because if that's true, I feel like I've been like living life under like Goku's training in the Saiyan saga. Like, I don't know if you guys ever watched that, Dragon Ball Z. Growing up, there was a character named Goku, and it was like I think it was a Japanese anime, and he was training to basically fight this race called the Saiyans, who had come to Earth to or wherever they lived. I don't know if they lived on Earth, but to fight them, and he was training in 100 times the Earth's gravity at one point. In this spaceship or whatever, and you could turn up the gravity and make your life harder. And so he trained under that for some crazy amount of time, and when he came out of it, he was just in normal Earth's gravity, right? So he was way, way better trained than anybody else and was able to do things that nobody else could do. He was faster, stronger, this, that, and the other. Who knows? Maybe I'm Goku. I've been living my life under 100 times the pressure of what normal people are dealing with, and I've still pushed through and tried to, make things work for myself and become successful in many different areas. And it's like all I've gotten is like the shit kicked out of me over and over and over. And it even makes me think about like my business. Like I went out of business. Like I lost everything. If you go back 3 years now, three, maybe four, I don't know, years ago, I had to close my business. I lost everything in that business that I had built. I spent, I don't know, depending on how you want to look at it, 6 to 10 years building that business and giving it everything that I had, to the point where I had breakdowns like I experienced this January. I had breakdowns like that, and I kept going. I didn't pull out of everything, and all the sleepless nights, sleeping for like 1 hour a night or 2 hours a night, and I pushed through that, and I still lost it all. And if I do have this, it makes me look back and realize like how much I've missed out on in life, not knowing that this is what I've been dealing with. And again, I'm not going to have my answer for a week if I actually have this or not. But it's like, if I do, and I had found out about it years and years ago, I would not be having this conversation with you guys. I'd probably have a flourishing business. I mean, at the height, I had 12 employees, and like we were in over 72 companies across Connecticut, doing work for them and such. And I mean, money was never rolling in, but that was always because like I was just struggling to function. Like, and it's like I had all the moves right, and I was able to I had the business going. I just I couldn't function. And it's very infuriating to me if this is the answer, I'm thankful for it, but I also realize that I lost my business because of it, because of losing functionality, because of sleep deprivation. I've probably lost relationships over it, I mean, I've been quite irritable recently, so I can only imagine that I was quite irritable in some past relationships. Like, I probably missed out on a lot of opportunities in my life because of severe sleep deprivation, and that sucks, honestly. And as it stands at this point, I'm very excited about tomorrow night. I'm very nervous about tomorrow night because I want an answer, but I think, as much as I don't fear a lot, I think I'm afraid of the answer currently, because I'm afraid if they tell me yes, what that means for the implications of my life. And I'm afraid if they tell me no, what it means for the implications. Because the implications, if the answer is no, is that we have no fucking idea what's going on with me. Like, this downward spiral is just magical fucking unicorns scooting around on wings of fire. And nobody knows what is wrong because it's all bullshit. And we got to just go back to the drawing board and try to figure it out. And it's going to be really frustrating. On the flip side, if the conclusive results are that it's positive, the implications for my life are that I have to come to terms with the fact of all the stuff that I've lost in my life due to this not being diagnosed far earlier, as in years, 10 years plus. However, the implications are positive, that I will probably appreciate every waking moment absolutely more than anybody else does, because I've been living in such lack that everything will just be so much sweeter, and I will be able to appreciate so much more, kind of like, somebody who has been like truly homeless. Like, I've been homeless, but I have not been that kind of homeless where you're you're living on the streets and you're homeless for a long period of time. Like, I had a car, you know what I mean? Like, but the fact that I can go downstairs and I can turn the dial and turn the heat on, nobody who has not been homeless will ever understand how sweet that is. That I can go downstairs and I can do that, or I can flick this switch over here and I can turn on the lights, or I can have the money to pay a medical bill that I have. Like, when you haven't had lack, it's a little more difficult. Well, it's a lot more difficult to appreciate things. And it's I question sometimes, can somebody who has never experienced true lack in different areas truly appreciate things in those areas? It's like somebody can bitch all they want about not having shoes until you meet the man with no feet. You know what I mean? And the implications for if this is a yes, of course, I'm not wild about wearing a machine and just being the way I am. I'll try to figure out some way to get around that, a year from now. But as much as I wouldn't like that, and having to lug a machine or whatever it is around with me wherever I go, the implications are that this adds a whole new chapter to my story. And I would probably end up far more thankful, like I said, for everything in my life. And I would probably just go into living life to the fullest, because I cannot tell you how many times I have missed out going out and having a good time with friends. I missed out 2 days ago, my buddy's birthday. I wasn't functioning enough to even go to his birthday. I'm sure it was an awesome party and I couldn't even go. Like, the amount of things that I've missed out in my life, and the amount of times I've had to do just the bare minimal, which was basically just work and sleep. Like, I'm at the point right now where I'm in bed probably 12 to 15 hours a day. Like, is really how much I'm in bed, and it sucks. It sucks fucking donkey balls. The implications for if this is a yes is that it's another chapter in my story, and honestly, it opens my mind more. And as much as I would rather my mind to be opened without having to have these like grueling times of bullshit, the truth of the matter is that the greatest lessons in life, I think, come from times of strife. You can quote me on that. That's pretty good. The greatest lessons in life come from the greatest moments of strife, or whatever the hell I just said. I already forgot it. Come from the greatest moments of strife? I don't know. Anyways, you can quote me on that, even though I forgot it. So I think that going through the really difficult things, and the fact that this has been hell, like living with this, especially these last few months, being completely insomniatic, if that's a word, having complete insomnia, not being able to sleep, and having just horrible thoughts about everything. Use your imagination, and you're probably right. It adds an awakening in more areas, and it adds more of an understanding for others and for the struggles of which they're going through. And in some ways, it will definitely help me to help others and to guide others and to get them, to believe in themselves and that they can get better and all that. So, I mean, in some crazy way, as much as I would rather not have experienced this, it opens the mind. Stuff of difficulty opens the mind, the same way that weights at the gym, broaden your muscles, or, whatever. The same way struggles broaden your mind. And, you don't go to the gym to lift, 2-pound weights or 1-pound weights. Like, you're not going to the gym for that. Like, you don't grow in comfort. So you go to the gym to lift heavy weights, and you keep going up. It's a succession, right? You get stronger, and therefore you're able to handle the heavier weight. And it's like, you know, it's a great metaphor for life. You know, sometimes life doesn't get easier, you just get stronger, right? So you're able to overcome more, you're able to be more mature in what you handle and what comes your way, and you have a better outlook on things, and you don't get as stressed about things. And you know, somebody cuts you off on the highway, you're not flipping out about it for the rest of the year or whatever. You know, you feel indifferent towards it because it's not worth your time. You don't have to spend your energy getting mad at your spouse. Like, you guys are a team, you're supposed to work together. You know, it's all that kinds of stuff. Can you tell I have ADD? I just connect dots. I just see dots in my head. I'm just like, this fits with this, so we're gonna put this together. Like, you know, you live and you learn is what I'm getting at. And it's like, times of difficulty seem to give the most growth, the same way that the heavier weights at the gym tear more muscle. You know, you don't want to take on so much that you break, which seems to be my MO. So don't do as I do as I say. Take it easy out there and stuff. Just trust me. You do not want to get to the point of where I've been at, especially these last few years. You don't want to be me these last few years. They've been extremely difficult, to say the least. And many of you would not actually believe some of the stories if I were to tell you, which I will eventually on this channel. But I didn't expect for all this to come out in this video. I was more just gonna talk about the fact that I can't sleep for shit, but you know, I've gotten pretty comfortable talking on camera, so you know, stuff just kind of comes out nowadays. And I've been doing these like rapid fire videos, just filming without editing and just throwing it up. So hopefully you guys like my rambling. You know, I most of the stuff that I film on this video is really to motivate and inspire you guys, and you know, to be real with you and girls. You know, surprisingly, a lot of my audience is women. I didn't know that. A lot of my audience on here is actually women, which is great. I insert really good quip right here, but I can't come up with it right now. But glad to have you here too, ladies. So my goal, of course, is to inspire you guys to, like, you know, become whatever it is that you want to be. You know, don't give up on yourselves or others. You know, we're all dealing with a lot of demons out there. We're all dealing with things that nobody knows. The surface level stuff is so surface. It is so true that it's the tip of the iceberg, what we can see. You have no idea what people are struggling with. Judging others, man, you could barely even judge yourself. You don't understand yourself. I don't even understand me. You know? You have to have such an open mind to things, and I think as a culture we're just so close-minded in general. But you know, I try to put these videos up, and I try to, like I said, be real and give you guys, you know, something to kind of hold on to. And you know, as I rise in life and share my ideas with you guys and whatever, you know, I figure from time to time putting up a video like this may not be the worst thing in the world, or you know, sharing what's going on, because you know, sharing is caring. Because I think that getting a glimpse of the realer struggles of what goes on, that nobody gets to see, can be important, you know, and it can help you to understand that whatever you're dealing with, you're not alone. Because I think that a lot of times, as a segregated culture, which is basically what we've got going on, I think people do feel alone. I think they don't know that people are out there going through the same. I think they don't realize the amount of support they would get if they did reach out, you know. And I think that's, I mean, you know, if you look at my last video, I think that's what leads people to kill themselves, you know, to commit suicide. They feel so alone and forlorn, and like things aren't going to get better, you know. They get to that point. And you know, I share these videos on here not only to leave breadcrumbs, because as you know, I'm trying to become successful, and I'm trying to show that somebody can come from nothing, like I pretty much have. You know, somebody can come from nothing and somebody can make something of themselves. And, you know, I hope that my story inspires others. But, you know, the other side of this channel is just sharing ideas with you guys. And, you know, I got the studio going, which is pretty cool. I'm actually looking at buying some high-end video cameras for it. It's just really my health has taken precedence because my health has been shit. And I mean, the other side is just building a platform to share ideas on and stuff, you know, and hopefully eventually, if this channel grows, you know, there will be colorful commentary in the comments, you know, and, you know, I hope the channel does something for people, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just for me. It's kind of like a little bit of a journal on here for me at times, but I'm hoping this channel does something for people and gives them something to, like I said, hold on to, you know? So anyways, that's my video tonight. I feel like shit. I'm up. It's probably about 4 in the morning now because it says I've been going for 40 minutes. And I started at 3 o'clock. So I have work in 5 hours, which is awesome. And I'm probably not going to sleep. But I've got a sleep study tomorrow night. And hopefully the results are conclusive. And I can start, you know, on my way to getting my health back. Because, man, it has been shit for a long time. So, anyways, I hope you guys are doing good out there. And, you know, if you like this video and my rambling, you know, leave a like and a comment. Because if you like rambling videos, trust me, I could ramble forever. You know, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this kind of a video, like actually showing what's going on behind what I typically show on this channel. And if you made it to this point, God bless you. This is a long video. I hope you like it. So anyways, good luck out there, guys, and I hope things are going well for you. Have a good night.